Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Rabbit Build, part 3 of the DIY carbon fiber wide body kit. In the last video I got one fender laid with one layer of epoxy. As of now I have all of the fenders laid with at least one layer. The front two have 2 layers. Now I need to get the second layer of epoxy onto the back fenders. Once I have 2 layers of epoxy on all 4 fenders, I'm going to hit it with a 220 grit sandpaper, dry sand it, then wet sand it, and it'll be ready for the next layer of epoxy. Alright, so I got it sanded and wet sanded, and you could see these glossier spots are the low spots. I didn't get it all the way down because a lot of the low spots were really close to the carbon and I didn't want to burn through all the way to the carbon. It looks like there's a lot, but there's not as much and it doesn't feel so bad, and this next coat really should even it all out. Okay, now every fender has 3 coats of epoxy, and I'm all done with the epoxy. I'm going to install them onto the car before I sand them and get them ready for clear coat, because I don't want to scratch after I've clear coated it or after I've sanded it and have to resand it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it against the car where I want it, measure from each corner, divide by how many bolts I want in between that portion, and then I'll get the measurement I need in between each. So I mark it out with Sharpie and then drill a hole through the car and the fender at the same time, so I have that perfect lineup. Hit it all the way across. I'm gonna pull the fender off, riv nut each one so that way I can easily take the fenders on and off. Once everything's installed, I'll test fit, and if it feels good, then I'll pull it off, sand it all down, and hit it with a clear coat. Oh man! Mark III VR6 just drove by. I need to decide where the bottom's going to bolt in because it really gives me some leverage on how much room my tires have. So I have to wait till I get some new tires before I put the bottom one in there, but it'll be fine for now. So now that I have the holes big enough to fit my bolts on the fenders, I have to get these holes big enough to fit the rib nuts. These are threaded rivets, so that way I can take the fenders on and off. Alright, now I have every fender riv nutted, test fitted, ready to go onto the car, so I'm going to pull them off the car now and start sanding them. I'm going to start out with 120 grit dry sand and then hit it with the wet sand with the 120 grit and make sure I get it really smooth after that first one, and then gradually move my way up to about 400. Alright guys, so I got the fenders all sanded down to 400 grit, wet sanded. It's pretty smooth. Still looks a little rough, but the clear coat will fill in all the rest of those scratches. I've decided to go with matte clear coat for two reasons. One, I thought the gloss would be too contrasty on the patina, and then I couldn't sand it all the way down without burning through the carbon fiber, and it just, I mean, I burned through the carbon fiber in a couple spots, and there's a couple low spots. And I'm really tired of trying to get it 100% perfect. It's never going to be. So eventually I'll probably fix all those small spots and paint it when I do a different color on the car eventually. But for now, matte clear is going to be fine. So I got it hung up, cleaned off, and I'm going to hit it with the matte clear. Alright, so I just hit it with a really light coat, let it dry down, and then I'll come back and hit it with a much heavier. "10 minutes, time for the second coat. This one's going to be much wetter. I'm going to try to get it as wet as I can without having it drip. That's the goal, because I don't want to do any more sanding right now. Got a couple drips just in this little corner, but it's not so bad. I'm gonna let this sit and dry for quite a bit longer, probably a good hour, and then I'm gonna do one more coat. There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. There's more videos to come. I got a lot more to do on the car. I have a few more things to do on the wide body itself, like I need to get new wheels and tires so that way I can decide where the bottom bolt is going to line up, and also if the fender well that I cut is the one I'm going to keep, I might end up having to adjust a little bit to fit bigger wheels and tires or different size tires. But overall, I'm super stoked with how it came out. There's a lot of defects in it, but really I'm really happy for this being my first time using any sort of composites, let alone exposed carbon fiber. So if you guys liked it, leave a thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I answer all my messages. If anybody has any questions on something I didn't explain very well, please just hit me up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.
Well, it's looking a little better.
Thank you.